Hello, Internet. I'm Matt.
And I'm Monster Punter.
And this is the Parallax Scrolling Podcast, where we give you our perspective on video games and the news that affects them. How you doing?
Better?
Yeah, it's been a crazy month.
Yeah, I guess just without, getting too far out in the weeds, I had someone in the family pass away. Half my family lives in California, so I went out to visit them.
And there's just been a bunch of other personal things, not just that, but for both you and me, just been a lot of personal garbage that's been going on. So while Monster was gone taking care of stuff, I was going to try and record, but I couldn't record because I was having my own personal stuff going on. It was just a fun time.
Well, I got back and I got sick too. Or else we would have recorded last week. And
and speaking of last week, I had, because of, now we're going into the summer months soon, I lost power, internet, and the computer at 3 separate occasions.
Delightful.
In one day.
That sounds delightful.
Yeah, it was terrible. I hated it. But yeah, so we don't, oddly enough, there wasn't a whole lot of new stuff that was really stuff we wanted to talk about.
Unless you wanted to talk about a particular game, there's a lot of news.
I have a lot of particular games I want to talk about, but I mean, but overall, nothing earth-shattering news in the video game world this past month. Actually, this is a good time to say this. If you guys have requests for news stories, hit us up in the comments. Just put them in there.
If you value our opinion, let us know what you want to hear about. It doesn't even have to be about news, just anything in general.
Right. And if you don't value our opinion, and you just want some voices in the background while you're playing a video game or something, send them to us anyways. So, all right. I want to talk about these because I know we always talk about what video games we've been playing. You haven't had a lot of time for video games, obviously, as we talked about. I have one in particular I want to talk about. Got to play After Image.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. For everyone at home, this is Monster's copy he let me borrow before he went off and did crazy stuff. And I have to get it back.
I wouldn't say crazy stuff. It's just I had a good solid 2 weeks where I was basically
Let's just say crazy stuff. It's fine. It's crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff. Anyhow, so I got to play After Image, and for those who might not be aware of it, it's a Metroidvania, and it's very beautiful. I don't know why. I wish I could think of his name, but there's this TikTok guy who he does these little videos with people where they showcase something, and he's always got an angry face on, and but he's always known for saying gorgeous, and that's what this game is. This game is gorgeous. It's so beautiful. I do have some complaints about it.
Okay.
Biggest ones being, story is confusing, as in it doesn't really give you a good idea where to go next at any point.
But a lot of those games are like that, right?
No, they offer you the ability to explore, but they kind of give you a general idea of where to go next. A general idea, you need to go to the fire volcano. Cool, how do I get to the fire volcano? You just need to get there. Okay, cool. And then the game, the way the maps are laid out, will usually guide you on how you need to get to the fire volcano. This is hey, you need to go over there. Where's that? Yep. Okay, how do I get there? Uh-huh. Are there some cool power-ups? Maybe. Okay, thanks. It's very vague and ambiguous, and it honestly was very frustrating. On top of that, because of that, I think, it's super easy to sequence break. There were points in the game where I was getting story bits that I shouldn't have gotten yet. So when they happened, I was so confused. So the game's really good at confusing you on what you need to do. But the other, this one's a minor complaint. The music. It's nice. But it's a 30-second track per zone. On repeat. And these zones are huge. These zones are so massive. So every once in a while, and there's like one particular song, I heard it in 2 different zones. And I don't know why, but there's just the way the certain sting in the song happens, it just annoys me. And so I'm just hearing it every 30 seconds. I'm like, come on! And then sometimes the music don't even play. I don't even know how that happened.
Okay.
Yeah. But the combat is amazing. The combat is amazing. The platforming is solid. The game tries really hard to... And I'm learning now more that it's definitely homaging other Metroidvanias.
Okay.
But it tries very hard to be like other games at the same time. And when I was originally going through it, my first instinct was, you remember Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire?
Yes.
You remember the big problem of Spider-Man 3?
They made it.
Okay. Point. No, but the big problem was the reason why that movie was so rough was because they were trying to tell 3 different stories at one time. After Image is trying to be 3 different Metroidvanias at once. It's trying to be Hollow Knight, which it homages, definitely. It's trying to be Symphony of the Night, which it homages. And it's trying to be After Image, which is also a little bit more like Elden Ring.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured that one might kind of perk you a little bit when I said that.
I don't know. I mean,
well, no, in the sense of like the exploration aspect is just very... You really need to explore to understand what the heck's going on. I actually stumbled upon the final boss, or a final boss. And I was missing like several different traversing movement power-ups. So there were areas of the game I hadn't even been to yet that I didn't even know existed. And I found the quote-unquote final boss. And I'm like, this is... Huh? And then, of course, because I didn't know what I was doing, because the game is not really good at telling you where to go, I got the really bad ending. And it actually kind of ticked me off. Because I was like, this doesn't make sense! And the other thing is, like, so you have your side quest NPCs that you meet. It's kind of like a constant thing in Metroidvanias now. You have a quest journal, but the quest journal is vague, too. Instead of telling you where to go next or what to do next, it just tells you what you did. It's like, well, I already know that. Where am I supposed to go now? So it's got a lot of pluses to it, but it also has a lot of minuses. So it's not a game I would say every Metroidvania player should play this. But it's also one of those that I would not say avoid. Like, if you're really interested in checking it out, absolutely check it out.
Welcome to gaming in the 90s where they don't give you any direction.
Okay, you say that, but like I referenced Symphony of the Night. Symphony of the Night does give you a good idea of where to go. And it gives you a really good idea of how the story paces, and so you have a better understanding of what's happening. This is struggling.
Okay. So as for me, I played a bit of Trails to Azure, and I've played a little bit of Guilty Gear Xrd with some friends that we were online, and a little bit of Monster Hunter Rise. That's all I've been able to play lately.
Did you play Guilty Gear Xrd or Strive?
Strive.
Strive is so good.
It's on Game Pass.
It is. I've been playing it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
and I'm a sucker. My favorite animal is a wolf. Mm-hmm. So when I saw the brawler chick that's a rushdown character that uses a wolf, I was like, this sounds like me. I'm playing this character. Which is really funny because there's the one guy who kind of looks like a lion. Yeah. And I'm like, he's up my alley. He's like, I like that guy. So it's definitely good, and it's a nice little distraction. It is. Until next month, where tons of games are coming out, or at least being announced. Well, Final Fantasy's coming. Well, yeah, but I'm talking like we also got the showcases coming. Oh yeah, and then Final Fantasy. Yeah. Yeah. So there's tons happening, man. We will definitely be talking about the showcase. There's 2 of them in there. Yeah, there's a Microsoft one coming up on June 11th, and then the May 24th for Sony. Yeah, this week. It may have already been out by the time you guys hear this. Hopefully not. Why don't we try to put together an episode right after that to talk about the showcase?
Okay, well, that requires me to be able to get this one out on time, so we'll see.
Or we can,
I will try.
Or we can watch it over Discord together and record our reactions and put that out too. That would be cool. Anyway,
we'll see. We'll try. I'm up for it. We'll try.
Speaking of Discord,
Oh, so.
Yeah. I'm gonna affectionately place this at the feet of Matt.
What?
So we had an episode recorded, but
this is my fault.
Yes,
this is my fault.
Yes.
Oh, okay, sure. Let's go ahead and blame the guy who actually recorded the episode. Sure. Yeah, I'm spoiling it. You better believe I'm spoiling it. You're trying to throw me under the bus.
I thought, and rightfully so, as I might suggest as well, that he was recording the whole Discord conversation, but apparently I was supposed to record myself and send it to him.
So apparently when I said, hey, are you ready to record this? And he goes, yeah, sure. He just automatically assumed that I was recording both of us.
Yeah.
And never confirmed or denied if he was recording.
Listen, we're just going to go with I was right and you were wrong.
I'm going to go with you need to start recording yourself, sir. That's right, Troy. Especially since you, after this whole thing happened, told me I had the right to throw you under the bus, but I kept my mouth shut and you tried to throw me under the bus. How dare you? You see what I'm working with, folks? Do you see this?
But I mean, come
on.
Oh my goodness. It's all in well-intentioned fun here. Speaking of well-intentioned fun. Right now on Steam, you can get Metro Last Light Complete Edition for free. So if you want a good first-person, story-driven game, definitely check that out. And then there's the ever so epic walking simulator called Death Stranding. Okay, I know people say it's a lot more. People say it's a lot more than a walking simulator.
There is some combat, yes.
Yeah. But that's free on the Epic Game Store. So, take advantage of the free games that they're giving you.
Speaking of Epic Game Store, that's a great way to jump into one of our stories.
Oh?
Yeah. So it's a very brief story, but if you are on Epic Game Store, while you're getting your free copy of Death Stranding, consider the fact that from now on, when you buy a game from them, you get a 5% cash back bonus every time you buy a game.
So let's just put this into perspective.
Yes.
The Epic Game Store gives more of the share of profit to the developers. So if you're interested in supporting developers more, the Epic Game Store is one way to do it.
Right.
And now you can get 5% back on all the games you buy.
Yes. So what's happening is they're rolling out the Epic Rewards program. And what it's going to do is going to give you 5% cash back on all your PC gaming purchases. But this doesn't happen for 14 days, which is the amount of time it takes for you to refund the game. But that's still good. And the big thing is, like Monster said, the lion's share of the profits go to the developers. So Epic is actually taking an L on this one. They're losing money.
Yeah, but when you have Fortnite.
Yeah, when you have Fortnite and you're rolling in cash, it's easy to do something like that. But just something to keep in mind. If you're gonna start buying games on Epic, understand that you're gonna start getting some of that money back.
I'm gonna be clickety clacking here for a second.
Clickety clacks inbound.
Yeah, here we go. Okay.
Yeah.
I do want to bring this up here. Asus just released it's coming very soon, the Asus ROG Ally. And it is a portable gaming PC.
Can you spell that real quick, though?
Asus ROG.
ROG, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, my brain said RAWG, and I'm like, what's RARG?
It's gotten mixed reviews online, and I think there's some optimizations and other things like that need to be done. So you have like the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck is like your premier portable PC platform at the moment.
Which people are saying is amazing.
People love it. But if you want a game on it, you pretty much are tied to Steam.
Right.
You know? But with this ROG, I mean, it's using Windows, and with that comes some, Windows is a resource hog comparatively speaking to what they're doing with the Steam Deck right now.
Absolutely.
And so Microsoft has announced that they're going to be doing something to make a more lightweight operating system for this, or at least environment in which you can operate. So hopefully the battery gets a lot better on this Asus.
Yeah.
But either way, not only can you play your Steam games on it, you can also play your Epic Game Store games, and you can, in my opinion, the most important thing, play Game Pass games on it.
Ooh.
Interestingly enough, these are not cheap devices.
Right. They said how much these ones are going to be?
This is going to be $700.
Okay.
But it's a 7-inch, 1080p, 120 hertz screen. And it has a 12 compute unit video processor in it.
Okay.
Or GPU, rather, and an 8-core CPU. Compared to the 4-core CPU of the Steam Deck and 8-core GPU of the Steam Deck.
Okay, so this is actually going to give the Steam Deck a run for its money.
It can, and one of the things, like, at this particular point in time, operating at 15 watts, it's really not any faster than the Steam Deck, even though it has a lot more under the hood. So there's definitely kinks to be worked out here. I think if we revisit this in a year, this device will be a better gaming experience than Steam Deck.
Okay.
But, it's going to take some time to get there. But anyway, thought I'd throw that out there.
Now, isn't the Steam Deck correct me if I'm wrong, isn't it 300 right now, or is it 500?
You can get it as low as 400 for a 64-bit or 64 gigabyte SSD internally.
Okay.
So that's the differentiator. If you want the 256 gigabyte SSD, then it's like 500. And if you want the 512,
money is still a factor.
Yeah, you can get up to $600 for the Steam Deck. So this is $700, but you are getting the 512 gigabyte hard drive in it, and a higher resolution screen and things like that. So there's some pluses and minuses.
Now, here's the wild thing. Would you be able to plug this in on like a TV somewhere else?
Yes, it's supposed to be able to be used as a full. You could use this as a full-fledged PC should you choose to.
Pretty sweet. All right.
Sorry, not planned, but
yeah, no.
You might want to
that's actually cool to talk about. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't feel like talking about the elephant in the internet.
Oh, you don't feel like it, but we have to.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, just because Mark Wahlberg can handle all the problems in Tears of the Kingdom doesn't mean...
So before recording, we found an article on Hard Drive, and Hard Drive is a satirical video gaming website, much like The Onion.
Yeah, I was going to say, keep that in mind. This is The Onion for video game nerds, okay?
And it said Mark Wahlberg said he could have prevented Canon's reincarnation or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like that. And so, yeah, anyway, Hard Drive's great. Love Hard Drive.
Anyhow, you go ahead, talk about it. You talk about it.
Obviously, 10 million copies in a weekend is huge for any game. And so people...
Oh, that elephant. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What, you want an actual elephant?
No, I have a different one. Go ahead.
Okay. But Zelda is obviously selling like crazy. People love it. I am not looking to play it myself, but I appreciate everybody who loves that series and wants to play it. And it's obviously getting a lot of attention. People seem to love the mechanics where you can build things.
Yeah, apparently inappropriately so, too. So, calm it down, people. Calm it down, all right?
Of course people were going to do that. Anytime you can build stuff, people are going to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know. Just calm it down, folks, all right?
Nintendo's had a very successful launch. They actually did get my money because my wife wanted the game, so I bought the game anyway. I hope everybody has fun with it.
Yeah. No, the actual elephant I was talking about was that the EU has okayed the acquisition for Blizzard by Microsoft. So I don't really have much to say on that one. I'm not gonna.
If they get past the UK now, and then it's the UK and FTC are the big roadblocks now.
Yep, and it's pretty much a sure thing.
Yeah. I for one would like to see all those games on Game Pass, but that's just me.
I for one welcome our Microsoft overlords.
No,
no, I don't. But
no.
That was just a funny comment.
That's the artificial intelligence that I will.
Yes, I welcome our robot overlords.
Yes, that kind of robot overlord.
Yes, that was fine. Well, I got exciting news and funny news.
Okay.
So, exciting news. I might actually get back into Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because Mortal Kombat 1 has just been announced, coming out on September 19th.
Oh, yeah?
So, apparently, I like I said, I stopped playing for a while because I was kind of done with, oh, look, all these horror movie icons and all these other people and all these other characters and all these other things keep showing up in the game and have nothing to do with it. Because it's a cash grab. And I just, if I was going to play a fighting game, I wanted to put my time into something else.
Okay.
But this one might be interesting. So apparently at the end of the Aftermath expansion for Mortal Kombat 11, Liu Kang is now an all-powerful fire god.
Oh, fun. I have not played those games, so I was not aware of such things.
So, do you remember when Raiden kind of rewrote the universe?
No.
Oh,
yeah, like they were all supposed to die.
Yeah, and Liu Kang technically died in that.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, okay.
Now.
So, but this time, it's happening again, but this time it's Liu Kang, and he's rewritten the universe. So we'll see how it plays out, because apparently there's different allegiances, alliances, stuff like that. Who they've confirmed so far: Liu Kang, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, shockers, Katana, Mileena,
shockers.
Well, Katana not so much, but Mileena is, because they kind of were not showing her for a while. Well, they're kind of bringing her back. Kung Lao, Raiden, Johnny Cage, and if you pre-order, you get Shang Tsung.
Okay.
All right. Now, funny thing is, if you buy the Premier Edition, you pre-order and get the Premier Edition, they have a character skin for Johnny Cage, where he is Jean-Claude Van Damme.
The inspiration behind him in the first place.
Exactly. So, that's kind of cool. There's also a new feature they're calling Cameo Fighter. It's a unique roster of partner characters. So it might be more like Marvel vs. Capcom, where you have like the extra person come in and interrupt the fight.
Oh, you talk about like the strikers and some of those.
Yeah.
I've never been a big fan of that kind of system. The striker system's never been very.
Well, let's see what happened. Let's get more feedback from them first. They just announced it, recently. Yeah, okay. So we'll see. But I also know that a bunch of the DLC characters have already been unlocked, or not unlocked, but revealed. One of them is Homelander from The Boys.
I'm not familiar with that.
He's basically a Superman, but like an egotistical, kind of evil dude.
Okay.
Yeah. If you've seen The Boys, you guys know who I'm talking about. I have not seen The Boys, but I know who he is.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so it's coming out September 19th. You can start pre-ordering it now. And there's going to be an early beta beginning in August. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with this. It's just kind of like, I'm interested in the story more than I am anything else. Because I'm just kind of like, what are you doing now? How are you going to rewrite this again? So we'll see.
Okay.
As long as people are like kind to each other and not toxic people, such as one particular individual. Over Mother's Day weekend, there was a Smash Brothers tournament.
Yes.
Right? There's a video game tournament. Low Tide City 2023. Mm-hmm. Right? And in this, there were some Smash Pros. One of them goes by Meister, Maister, and another one who's known as Syrup. All right?
Okay.
They were in a match. Meister beat Syrup. went up to him after the game, gave him a fist bump, and then told him he sucked. Here's the thing. Syrup is 15 years old. Yeah. So he walked up to a 15-year-old kid, instead of saying good game or anything like that, he told him he was terrible and that he sucks. Well, rightfully so, there was backlash for his actions on the internet, so he decided to get on Twitter and put out an apology. Apparently it wasn't good enough because Syrup's mom jumped into the fight on Twitter and roasted him. Let's see if I got it right here. Okay, so this is the official response. As an adult, I think players such as yourself have no class, zero sportsmanship. Even if you win, you're still a loser all around. I have the utmost respect for all players, but you're the low of the low, no doubt. And massive support for the mom in her responses. And of course, then Meister went ahead and deleted the original tweet, came back with another tweet, a longer one, an actual apology. Says he tried to talk to the kid, but the kid doesn't want to talk to him. And it's... I gotta say this. He basically talks about it isn't an excuse because he forgot how young the kid was. That doesn't matter. This is Matt's editorial on this story. Ready? It doesn't matter the age of your opponent. You don't pull that kind of garbage, especially in a public outing. You're at a public tournament. You are the face, an icon of something that people really cherish. You do not go out and act like that. It is unexcusable. Better yourself. Whether he's 15 or 50, you shake his hand, you say GG, and you leave. Whether you win or lose.
So my take on the matter is, how do I put it? If he's trying to be sincere, then there's some forgiveness that should happen. To still be mad and not accept somebody's apology is not a very grown-up thing, in my opinion, to do.
Right, but he's also 15 years old, so I kind of excuse him.
But the mother,
well, right, but I don't know what's gone on in her end. But you're right. But at the same time, something I've learned, especially within my more recent life, is forgiveness is not about receiving it. Forgiveness is about seeking it. So,
well,
the fact that if he's sincere,
yeah, that's all I'm trying to say.
Right, no, I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you on that. If he's sincere, okay. But still, in the future, he's talks about trying to be a better person going forward. That better person better involve not acting like that to anybody. That's where I'm standing.
Well, that's one of those things where his actions are going to have to just speak for him on a go-forward basis. So
absolutely, But that's just that. I'm not I don't want to harp on it all day. But that was just my opinion on the whole matter. So
all right, well.
You got anything else?
I want to talk about, speaking of someone getting pushback.
Yeah.
In this case, maybe not so much pushback, but Take-Two Interactive's earnings call, CEO Strauss Zelnick. He was asked about the AAA games being discounted shortly after launch, and his company has started charging $70 for games, right? And here's the thing, as far as games getting discounted shortly after launch, it depends on the game. How, I think there's a lot of factors that go into it. Not every company can artificially keep their price inflated like Nintendo can. But
nobody can.
Nintendo seems to be able to do it.
Well, right, but I'm saying nobody other than Nintendo seems to be able to do it.
Yeah, but he was saying that there's not significant pushback on the $70 price, and maybe that's because we're almost 3 years into this generation, and so there's some fatigue that sets in. The outrage fatigue kind of sets in.
You know what? I was exactly thinking that as you were saying it. There's just people are tired.
Yeah,
they're just whatever.
And so I think it's terrible. I think $70 games don't need to be a thing right now. I realize that people would argue that games have gotten cheaper over time because of inflation, and I'm not arguing against that. I had a whole rant about that in a previous episode.
Right.
But when the gaming industry is bigger than and everything else, it's bigger than books, it's bigger than movies combined. You don't need to sell $70 games, especially when there's already microtransactions in practically every game nowadays.
Right.
That I don't think needs to be done. But he's saying that the people are like being a little bit more diligent about what they're buying. I guess maybe diligent's not the right word. Maybe like discerning, or maybe not doing as much.
Well, the thing is, most people are not in a financial situation where they can buy every new game at $70 when it comes out.
Yes.
They have to sit there and they have to decide, well, do I want to buy this game this week, or do I want to fill up the gas tank in my car?
Yeah.
And I think that's a very accurate representation, because gas is expensive.
Gas certainly is expensive.
But yeah, but it's not just Take-Two either. Like, Sega's doing the same thing too, aren't they?
Yeah, everybody's going to $70 now. Sony, we can all thank Sony for the $70 video game. And you know what? Back in the day when Microsoft went to $60, Microsoft got hammered for that.
Oh yeah.
But eventually everybody did it, and now it's Sony, and people hammered Sony. And here we are. It's going to be $70. Hopefully we don't go into a period where we have shorter, distances between like game prices raising. Because think about this.
Yeah.
The game prices were raised to $60 with the 360, the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
So we had 15 years of $60 games. How long are we going to have?
There are possibly some viewers that weren't even born when that system came out.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, we're old.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me.
No, but I think that's one of the reasons why there's been such a massive surge in indie games over the past decade or so. It's because people can't afford the AAAs, but they want to play a game and they want to play something new. And hey, this game looks cool.
Yeah.
So
that's where most of the innovation is now in gaming too.
Yeah.
Just want to end on something that's kind of cool. Sonic the Hedgehog Symphony is going on a world tour.
Woo!
I wish I could hear him. But if you are lucky enough to be in London on September 16th or in Los Angeles on September 30th, go listen.
Yeah, go check those out. I remember when the Final Fantasy Orchestra was going around, and they actually came to an area by us, and I was like, ooh, I want to go! And I never got to go. And I regret it, because it was just like, if the Sonic Symphony is anything like what the Final Fantasy Symphony was, they had a giant screen above the orchestra that was showing parts of the video games as they were playing the songs from them.
It's like a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, if you get that opportunity, take it.
That's all I got, though.
That's all you got? Okay. Well, you know what? I'll probably have more information on this in the future, but I actually started playing The Night Witch. And it's a Metroidvania, apparently. It's interesting. And I'm kind of enjoying myself so far, but hopefully I'll have more to talk about next week.
Okay.
For the meantime, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for listening. We really do appreciate you. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse saying it every time, but at the same time, I'm also truly appreciative that you guys listen to us and give us feedback and talk to us, whether in real life or on the internet. Just thank you. It means something. Yeah. It means that we're doing something cool, and I like that. So, as for us, we're out of here. Thank you so much for listening. Have yourselves a fantastic day, fantastic week, and hopefully we'll get this out sooner than the showcase. We'll have a showcase wrap up. We'll plan for it, and we'll just hope for the best.
Yeah.
Until then, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Take care.
Later.